Hi, and welcome to another podcast on iTunes U. This time, we create our first course. To manage your content on iTunes U, you always go to the same URL, itunesu.itunes.apple.com, and you log in with your Apple ID. When you set up your account, you set up a picture, and that was pretty much it, some information on yourself. This time around, we're going to create a new course. So there's a button to do just that. You can create 12 courses in iTunes U when you have a private account. When the board takes over your account, if we decide to do that, well then you will have as many courses as possible and unlimited storage. So let's create a course here called Stories at Work. And in this course, we will describe the art of story making, or how to create a story. Every course needs a short name, a little bit like, at university, how they do that. So I'll call it SCOR 101. It doesn't matter really. The institution is the one I set up when I created my account. And if there's a department I want to put this in, I'll put this in the English department. And there's a few more pieces of information you can put in there, things like categories and subcategories. This is really in the eventuality that the course becomes public, if you so choose. Well, then people will find your course more easily. What kind of level is this? Maybe this is an elementary course in this case. And what is the course language? The language that is being used to deliver the materials. That would be English in this case, but it could be, an English course delivered in some other language, although that'd be pretty strange. So here's a description. Learn to make great stories. Really here you put a full description of, what is the goal of the course and which kinds of things do you cover. And that's pretty much it. So I'll just leave it simple for now. And I don't think you want to put up courses with explicit material. Here's an important one. Is this a self-paced course or is this an in-session course? A self-paced course is something a student can join at any point in time, and for which you set a suggested duration. Maybe you'll say this will take 2 weeks to fill up, or to do. Now, there are some advantages to this because students can join all the time. But the problem is, if you want to put some assignments in there, you won't be able to if you're using a self-paced course. The in-session course you set up using a range of dates, and for each of these dates you can say this is for May till June of this year. Well, then you'll be able to set up some dates in your timeline. So we'll try the in-session course in this case. Finally, the licensing. Licensing means, do you want the course materials to be all rights reserved? You don't want people to copy them. Or perhaps you want to use attribution. You want people to make sure they put your name in the course materials. There's all sorts of different types of licenses you can use. And encourage you to go to the creativecommons.org site for information about this. I would say a more common version are things like the non-commercial. So it's free for use except for commercial use where they actually have to contact you and let you know. But I mean, it all depends on what you want to do. And once you're done, you click save. Oh, I forgot something. Yes, the infamous picture. Now remember the picture for the setting up your account? Well, it's the same thing here, except it's 600 by 600 pixels. This makes it a little bit tricky because a lot of images are not this size. Now, if you choose a photo that's inside of your iPhoto library, it would probably work if it's from your digital camera. Just make sure it's the right size. I have an image right here that is that size, so that's fine. But you might find it hard sometimes to choose exactly a picture that fits. So that might require a little bit of work, searching around. And that's it. Then you can save. And my course is all ready. It's the time for it to save. And we will do one quick thing before we continue, is create an outline for our course. So as soon as the course is actually saved, and sometimes it takes a bit of time, there you go. Course is now ready. You can see all the details here. And I want to make sure I start my content. So I'll click on the title of the course and set up my outline. Notice there's a little exclamation point here. I want to make sure I create my outline. So if I click on outline here, I'll be able to enter the different parts of my course. Now this is up to you. You could have just a single section in here, or you can split up your course, let's say in weeks or days or topics. I'll just say Introduction to Storytelling. I'll say Building an Outline. Making sure want to make sure I've got this right. Building an outline, creating your story, and sharing your story. Whatever. These aren't real steps, but this is, just an interesting way. You can make this more complex and use the indent tools to set up exactly your course outline, because you can look at this before you join a course. But really, those 4 steps are what we'll need later. So there you go. My outline is done. My course is ready. The next step will be to publish content and bring up some posts so that students actually have something to work with.